Arrma have just released their new Extreme Bash line, which is pretty much a rolling chassis of a Kraton, an Arrma Kraton. It's got thicker arms, bigger diffs, metal chassis braces, and it's also got a metal servo mount, limited slip differentials, and 70-75 shock towers, and a beefier wing mount, and a 70-75 chassis. Maybe a few other bits which I've forgotten, and it basically comes as a roller. Now this Hyper ST that I've got here is not the Pro version. It does have quite a few upgrade parts from the Pro. I have been looking at the Arrma line. I've wanted to buy an Arrma car for quite a long time, because obviously, even though they're owned by Horizon Hobby, Arrma is based in the UK. Habao is Taiwanese. It's definitely a good car. The parts for it are pretty reasonable prices. They're pretty cheap, to be honest. The durability of the car for the price is really, really good. However, it is a nitro conversion, which isn't a problem, but it was never designed for 6S power, and even though I've got all these Pro bits on it, mine does break every now and then. So I was thinking maybe I would sell this as a roller and then get a Kraton instead, basically. Take the electronics out of this, the Max 6, the 4092 motor when it arrives, I'm still waiting on that, and my receiver, my Power HD servo, and put that in a Kraton. And that's only because the battery tray on this is a lossy battery tray from a 8T. They're impossible to find now, so if I break that again, and I've broken it before, I'm stuffed. The suspension on this truck, although it looks fine now, when you put a 6S pack in, it does sag quite a lot, and if I was to spend money doing all the suspension on this, it cost me like 60-70 quid, so I don't really want to do that. I am happy with the truck how it is. The centre diff doesn't take enough fluid, basically, and so it does balloon the front wheels a lot. The Arrma will be better at that. I don't want to buy the CNC shock towers for this and all the rest of the Pro bits, even though I've got half of them already, simply because of the cost. Now, the Hyper ST Pro would have been an ideal truck. However, like I say, it was designed for nitro. The Kraton is specifically designed for electric. The battery tray is a bit nicer, it has good cable management, has a good servo position for the servo mounting. I do fancy a bit of a change as well. Like I say, I want an Arrma car, but if I did get a Kraton 6S, it would be unlikely I would use this Hyper ST as often, so it makes sense to sell this and buy the Arrma Kraton roller, basically. So, I don't know, maybe I will, maybe I won't, we'll have to see. I'll give you a look inside anyway, and you'll see what I've got it set up like on the inside. So here we go, this is the inside of the truck. As you can see, I've still got the 4076 motor in here, still waiting on the 4092 from AliExpress. Got my Power HD 20 kg waterproof servo, my Fly Sky receiver in here. You can see I've got Pro chassis braces front and rear, the hinge pin holders on both the front and the rear are the Pro version. The steering knuckles are from the Pro version, I have spares of those as well. I'm running the 52 tooth centre differential. I can't remember what pinion it's got on at the moment. I don't even think I've run it with this pinion on. After I destroyed the 15 tooth pinion, I think I did that off camera. I don't think I filmed that at all. You can see I've been running the Proline Badlands here. I've had a few sets of these, broken a few sets as well. But obviously if I sell it as a roller, it'll probably come with these wheels and tyres. So you've got the Desperado wheels with the Badlands. It's got the Max 6 ESC with the lossy battery tray, which I was on about earlier. It's got a foam pad at the front there, a nice thick one, to prevent the front of the battery getting smashed up. It's got a bit on the bottom and at the rear as well, at the ESC end. The battery tray hasn't been chopped too much. There is a gap between the drive shaft and the battery tray there, so that's quite nice. The ESC is screwed in, so there's actually holes in the bottom of here for the Max 6. Got my XT90 on there, obviously, single XT90. I've got the switch mounted on this piece of plastic with the just stuck on with shoe glue there. I've got my aerial through this bit here again on the centre diff cover. Centre diff cover's plastic, because this wasn't a Pro. It's got the Hyper VSE motor mount, which you can see there. Adjustable motor mount, cap head screws with washers underneath. I haven't got the third bolt in down here, because the centre diff in the Hyper ST sits on this 5mm aluminium plate here. So there's only 2 bolts holding the motor mount in, but that doesn't seem to be a problem. There's also this block here to hold the aerial, and there are a couple of aluminium pieces here which go into holes that were originally in the chassis just to hold the ESC wire and an extension going to the receiver there. It has got universal centre drive shafts, as well as CVDs in the front, and then at the back it's got one standard dog bone and one of the stainless steel Pro dog bones, because the other stainless steel one bent. The wing's broken, obviously, it's always broken, and you can see on this side it is kind of snapped off compared to the other side, but I've got a brand new yellow wing, although it doesn't really match the body shell. The suspension's set up as best it can be. It has all the preload spaces in, and once you put a 6S pack in, it does sit like that, basically, pretty low. It's got shock covers or socks on the front, but unfortunately the ones at the rear got all ripped, so I've recently taken those off. They haven't been off very long. You can see the rear tower is also plastic. So yeah, I don't know, I might ditch the good old Hyper ST and go with an Arrma. Probably won't be for a few months, because I'll have to sell this, obviously take all the bits out of it, strip it down a bit, make sure nothing's snapped or broken. I've got loads of spares that I would sell it with as well. Yeah, I'd probably have to do a separate video of those if I put it up for sale. It's also got the T-bone rear bumper. I do have the T-bone front bumper, but it's so worn out it just gets ripped off, so I put a standard bumper back on. It's got sway bars front and rear, obviously. It's been a good truck, has indeed been a good truck. It's got a custom painted body. It's I can't remember the exact colours. I have a video on there what colours I painted it, but it's orange and gunmetal grey with an orange bit there. As I said earlier, it's got the Proline Badlands wheels and tyres, plenty of life left on those. I do use these washers that I made out of an unbreakable body just on the front here, because the front body posts or body holes are elongated on the Hyper ST, pre-cut from the factory, so I do put those on before I put the body clips on so that they don't rip through. It has also got these non-standard mud guards. I think they're from a Mugen or something, these side guards, so the body doesn't quite fit over them too well because it's a bit wider. You can see the body's got a lot of drywall tape inside to reinforce it. That bit there's coming off, but you can't really see it from the outside. It's also got a few cracks in it, if it'll focus. Obviously the back is cracked from doing wheelies and such. This truck has been absolutely hammered for 5 years. However, It's also been pretty well maintained, so it's definitely not been a shelf queen or a truck that's just run around in circles on grass. Yeah, if you want to see all the abuse it's taken, you can just look on my channel. It's definitely had its fair share of hits. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this one. We'll see what the comments say, whether they want the Hyper ST to stay or whether they think I should get an Arrma. Like I say, it won't be for a few months anyway because I just got the Hyper MT. But if I can sell this for like 100, 150 quid maybe, then I'll only have to put about £250 into buying an Arrma roller, which isn't too bad. I mean, it has like all of the upgrades which I would need to buy to turn this into a full pro, which at this point is probably about £100 maybe. So it's not too bad. I get an updated, a newer car or truck, just with hopefully a bit more future proofing and maybe a little bit more durability and strength if that is possible. This car is durable, it is strong, but I don't know whether it's quite as strong as that new Arrma that they released. So yeah, anyway, it's getting a bit dark, so that will be it for this one. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.